Hi, Hugh Jones here, aka Fox Control, and welcome back to my home studio. And today I've got two little synthesizers that we're going to have a closer look at. You might call them desktop synthesizers, but actually one of the best references I've heard for these things is a backpack synthesizer. And once I heard about that, they started to make sense to me. So I've got the Skulpt synth and the Craft synth from Modal Electronics. So starting with the Craft synth, this is a little monophonic wavetable synthesizer and it's amazing. It's got heaps of presets in it. One comment that I keep hearing about these synths is that the layout is a little bit unconventional, but you know what? That's cool. It stops you from getting into those same old habits and it forces you to think about what you're doing or not think about what you're doing and absolutely just start experimenting and sound designing. I did have a muck around with these last night and the sounds were quite interesting, quite impressive really. The presets I thought were brilliant. Oh yeah. The second of the two is the Skulpt, and this is a 4-voice virtual analog synthesizer. What's really interesting about these synths also is that they come with an app with more like a soft synth sort of layout, so you can see your ADSR images and stuff like that, so it makes it a little bit more hands-on for sculpting your sounds if you are maybe like a computer music maker, but otherwise, again, backpack synth. They're really light, great for touring, great for taking to a mate's studio or mucking around, sitting on your lap and having a play. And look, you decide how they sound, and let's plug them in and I'll give you a quick demo. The Skulpt has this great little cover, so when you chuck it into your backpack, none of your knobs or dials are going to get damaged, or you're not going to get gunk from your sandwich underneath it all in your school bag. So yeah, that's a really nice little touch that it comes with the cover. Both of these synths can be bus powered via USB. However, I wouldn't run it from your computer. I seem to get a lot of cycle hum, so like a noise woo-woo kind of thing. You can also battery power these synths as well. They run on some AA batteries, which is super convenient, maybe for a live show or something like that if you wanted to have backup. If you've got a super tight setup, like a small space, you're living in an apartment or something like that, and you want an analog synth, or a synth at least with a physical interface that you can really dive into and start tweaking in real time, I just think this is the perfect solution for that. And there's such a wide variety of sounds from these machines. Like last night I was mucking around, and as you'll hear today, I've got like a garage sort of sounding track, but I definitely heard like a lot of acid in there, or even some big soundtracky style pads. I think both synths, not too bad to navigate, everything's on the surface, and they just are really, really versatile in terms of their sounds and the sound design possibilities. It's really quite interesting actually. So again, the Skulpt and the Craft by Modal Electronics are really great backpack synths. In other words, you can just chuck them in your bag and go for a jam, for a recording session, for a performance, whatever. I think these are really, really great sound design tools. Remember, there's also an app interface, so it can look more like a VST plugin, and you can start sound designing if you're more familiar to do that, particularly in the studio. But otherwise, it's got this really fun layout. I think there's a lot of really great presets in here as well, which is fun as, you know, starting points, or even just use them. Why not? Whatever gets your inspiration going. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you're liking these videos. I'll chuck the links to these products in the comments below. Otherwise, head over to www.musoscorner.com.au, and like always, happy music making.